What advice did Erykah Badu give you?
Well, first and foremost, she taught me how not to internalize, like not to take what someone else is feeling and make it like, oh, what did I do? Or villainizing yourself.
Welcome to MTV Cribs. I'm about to show you guys Warhaul Studios. Welcome in. Come back here.
If I would only be in your way, love you. Like, I love the idea of not villainizing yourself. I had this example one time where we're driving in a car and then this person beside us at the light, I guess we might have like cut them off a little bit. It was literally the smallest thing. But this person beside us started to while out in the traffic. Like, they started blasting their music, sticking their tongue out and like shaking their head and like stuff. Like, they were doing the most to try to get our attention. And it's like, your power in this world comes from indifference. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, you know, when you're a child, and if your parents, they can hit you, and that's one thing. But then, you know, the silent treatment, like that is almost more cruel, because when a parent does the silent treatment, it's as though you don't exist.
Right.
But that's also like a superpower as you get older, like to learn how to close things out, to not villainize yourself, to not internalize and take other people's projections onto you.
Right.
Internalizing. When things in the outside world are happening, they are external to me, but I make them internal by paying attention to them. Whatever you pay attention to, you buy that experience. That's the one.
So let's break this down. Whatever you pay attention to, which means whatever you put your mind and your thinking faculties and your inner conversations on, you buy that experience. So the example of someone wilding out at the traffic light, they're acting mad low vibration. If I go and I vibe with them, and if I pay attention to that person, I end up buying their experience of being low vibration. And that's where the idea of internalizing other people, internalizing things that are not aligned with your creative vision. Remember that in a whole day, you only have a set number of awareness points. Everything in this world is trying to get your attention. So your awareness, your ability to put your attention on certain things is really your superpower. That's gonna buy you back time. That's gonna buy you back energy. If I go and dwell on the fact of this individual at a stoplight, or even on social media posts, I end up buying all the low frequency emotions, especially shame, guilt, anger, jealousy, these kinds of things. Because for instance, on social media, when I was posting on TikTok, the two posts that almost hit 500,000 views on my TikTok were both videos where I said, this might be kind of controversial. And just in general, on social media, everyone's trying to grab your attention. They do it by saying things that they know is going to trigger you. You know, anything about controversy, politics, about dating, relationships, like those kinds of things is going to get people to emotionally engage with it. These are the tactics that are being used to rope you in because you get emotionally invested. Now you want to see what comments people are saying. And this whole time, you went on your phone to go see if one of your friends is bringing pizza tonight. You know, like you could get so distracted and pulled away because these external events are harnessing your emotions. Your inner conversations become external manifestations. We as creatives need to guard our internal conversations to our best ability. And that means being conscious of your awareness. I want to take it a step further, because on the first level, it's stop internalizing things and villainizing yourself, taking outside opinions and putting them into your inner conversation and then changing your state into something that's super negative. But the other part that's interesting is that everybody is literally you. Your world is you pushed out. Those people who you're getting upset at are literally you. And that changes the conversation, because this individual wilding out at the stoplight, if I had engaged with them, it would have demonstrated that there's something in my self-concept that gets offended easily. There's some idea of powerlessness. There's some idea that I need to get back justice. There's something fractured in my psyche that I'm screwing up on, because how you react to external circumstances reveals your internal conversations in moments of distress. Like, the world is a mirror. And if you scrutinize it too much, you end up adding too much thinking, too much logic, too much rationale to what you're actually seeing in the world. If you just see your reactions for what they are and notice where you're paying attention to, notice where your thoughts are going, that's going to reveal to you holes in your creative vision. I only have one life, therefore I'm only going to live in the wish fulfilled. Now, there's one part missing that I mentioned earlier. It's called indifference. I'm going to show you how to leverage it, because this is how you block the whole world out. Indifference is one of the greatest superpowers you can ever harness. Things die when you enact indifference. When you focus on something as if you're trying to get rid of it, you're giving attention to it. Therefore, you're always buying that experience. The moment you move your attention away from something, it ceases to exist. I remember that in my house, I was living in a basement one time, and there was so many spiders in it. And yo, like, I'm cool with spiders, but like, yo, when they're like in the nighttime crawling up on my feet, like, it just feels like weird. Like, that creeps me out. Anyways, there were moments where I had friends that would come over to my place, and I would literally forget about the spiders. You don't focus on the thing you're trying to get rid of, you find greater purpose and the ladder falls away. That's the emphasis of indifference, because indifference is a way of directing your attention away. It's not directing your attention on. I'm not focusing on creative resistance. I'm not focusing on overcoming my shame. I'm finding more purpose. I'm realizing to myself, yo, this creativity thing that I'm trying to do, these videos that I'm trying to make, it's of so much value and purpose to myself. I'm not even gonna put my attention on the negativity. I'm gonna apply myself to the constraint. I said I'm gonna get a video up every 3 days. That's the thing I'm focusing on. And by moving my attention onto that, I naturally enact into flow state. And if you do this as a mental diet, you'll notice that you might read things online, you might have interactions in real life, and catch yourself slipping. And that's the most beautiful part, because that's the creative act. When you begin to catch your reactions, you can change your inner conversations and change your perspective of the world that's happening. By changing your inner conversations, you begin to change your reality. And I just noticed the power behind this. When unfavorable things are happening, I either revise them, which is going to be another video, or I just enact indifference. I find more purpose and let that fall away. The moment I catch myself dwelling, ruminating on creative resistance and thinking I'm not worth it and stuff, that's the moment you pull your attention away and let those old ideas die. As Neville Goddard says, you can't pour new wine in an old bottle.